My client just got approved for over $110,000 in funding while sitting at a 70% utilization on the personal side. Yes, 70% utilization with personal credit card. And I know you're probably wondering how that's not even possible. You have to keep it under 10%. How to, you always told us that, yada, yada. Yes, I understand that, but I'm gonna show you how they were able to hide their utilization the smart way. So what I'm gonna do in today's video is I'm gonna show you how to hide your utilization so you can get funding the same exact way. So what I want you to do is go grab your pen and paper, and without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so before I even show you the strategy, I need to go ahead and break down the education as far as, let's just talk about why high utilization is one of the fastest ways to get denied. Yes, credit card utilization makes up nearly 30% of your credit score, ladies and gents, all right? There's payment history right here at 35%, and then you're looking at 30% when it comes to utilization. Two of the biggest hard-hitting factors when it comes to your credit score. That means that it has almost just as much weight as payment history when it comes to instant decisions, okay? So for all of my people that don't have any negatives on their credit report, but you still sitting at like the 670s and stuff like that, and you're trying to figure out, dang, what's going on? Yeah, look at your utilization. That is what's hindering you, and that's what's hurting your credit score. Once your revolving utilization goes above 30%, lenders start seeing you as a red flag, and that little eyebrow that you see right there is gonna start raising up as far as what in the world is going on. Above 50%, you're considered overextended. And above 70%, your profile starts screaming, no, signaling a risk of default, even if you've never missed a payment. You have to understand this. And I know in the beginning I said the 30%. A lot of people always tell you, oh, make sure everything is below 30%. That's still too high because 30% is too close to 50%. So what I want to make sure that you understand is always have your utilization below 10% or even zero before you go for any type of funding, okay? Understand this moving forward. I know there's a lot of, information out there like, oh, do it this way, everything, all zero except one, things of that nature. Hey, that's fine. Do whatever you want. I'm not here to force you to do anything. But from my experience, from me helping a lot of people, always have it below that 10% or even zero when you go for funding. You want to make sure that you look extremely acceptable before you even walk into that place. Because showing that you can possibly default without even having missed payments on your credit report is that's embarrassing. So that's when the denials come in. You might even right now be making six figures or about to make six figures and you never miss a payment. But to banks, if your credit cards are near maxed out, then they assume that you're desperate, you're thirsty. Why do you want more credit? And you max this out right here. You didn't even take care of this. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna shut the door in your face. No, they're actually gonna hold the door open for you and they're gonna kick you out. Now, do you want that? No, nobody wants that. So please just hear me out. Listen to what I have to say. So that means literally only your credit cards and also lines of credit. These are the only two credit products that hold a utilization surface level of what they're gonna deem is acceptable and not acceptable. But when you actually pay off these credit cards with a personal loan, your utilization actually goes to zero and your debt is no longer reported as revolving, okay? Now, not saying that you still don't owe the money, but to the credit bureaus, they don't treat you the same exact way. Does that make sense? Because even though that you still owe the money, so let's just say you owe $10,000 on credit card debt, but if you get a $10,000 personal loan to actually pay off the $10,000, you still owe the $10,000, but to a revolving line of credit, it shows that you're still deemed responsible. You know why? Because there are a lot of people that always have personal loans. I know you know somebody that has a personal loan, no matter if it's paid off, no matter if they used it, maxed it out, it does not matter because that's tangible money that's going into your bank account. So they can't allocate it, but then they can't. But when it comes to a credit card, they expect you to know your due date, your statement closing date, and to be responsible within those two periods. And if you're not, you're even more risky. But as far as a personal loan, but you have no utilization on a revolving line of credit, now you look good. So I say all that to say this, there's black and white in everything that we do in life, but if you're able to work in that gray area, like how all the rich and wealthy people do, you will start seeing a different outlook on how you can get approvals from certain banks, lenders, and things like that, even if you have a consumer debt issue. And on top of that, when you use a personal loan to actually pay off your utilization on your credit cards or line of credit, your score immediately jumps up. Even if you think I'm lying, go do it. Your approval odds even go up, skyrocket to the sky. And you're no longer flagged as over leveraged. The reason why is because, again, this strategy allowed my client to clear their utilization on paper and secure over $110,000 in real funding without actually having to pay anything off. You get me? Does that make sense? Because again, it's all about how the system reads your profile. And if the system, to be honest, when it comes to the system, they only read it as, left to right. And if everything works out in that sector, they're going to automatically approve you for the most part. There are outliers, but if everything is lined up the way how it's supposed to be, you're going to get approved. Now, if there's certain ways on how you have things set up, but it still meets those requirements, you're still going to get approved, AKA hiding your utilization. Now, with all that being said, I know you're thinking, hey, that sounds awesome, but I don't know these places that can do this for me. I do all this credit card debt. What can I actually do? Don't just give me the education. Don't worry, chill, relax. I got you, because I'm gonna show you 2 plays that can actually help you. So if you wanna use this strategy, here are 2 trusted personal loan places that can work as well, especially if your credit is still in the high 600s or even above. Starting with the first one, which is First Tech Credit Union. With First Tech Credit Union, you can borrow, as in the making of this video, a lump sum of $50,000 with a fixed low interest rate of 7.89%. Now, just to give you a little, background information, because I think I talked about First Tech Credit Union in a few videos, but I haven't really made a video in itself for it. But it's non-geo restricted. Anybody can actually apply for this place, but you have to understand this when it comes to it. They're very inquiry sensitive. They really care about negatives, so you have to make sure that that is all cleaned up as well. If you just have utilization, that's something that they can manage, things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you open a checking and savings account with them, okay? You want to build some internal points with them. Now, I don't think that you need to go up there just right now and just apply for $50,000 in funding. No, that's crazy, especially in your situation with the high utilization. But with that being said, what I want you to do is put some money in this checking account. If you can, put your direct deposit in this checking account as far as right now. You don't have to do it forever. You can always put it back to your whatever credit union or bank that you're at. It's just to get that circulation going, get the data points flowing with them. And then I would say for a few weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month, all right? Then you can start asking for this lump sum of money. Now, again, don't ask for $50,000 outright because you're still a new client, even being in there for a month. But what I'm saying is, if you only have $13,000 in credit card debt, then I want you to go to them and ask for $14,000, all right? Or you can ask for the amount that you have, but $14,000 just to really help you in this aspect, because you never want to bite off more than you can chew. And you never want to tempt yourself with extra money, because sometimes people be thinking that, I'll do this, I'll put it back. No, you're not. So just ask for whatever you have, whether it's the $10,000, whatever it is. And then after that, what I want you to do is I want you to pay off that credit card, okay? Now, disclaimer, the fixed interest rate can change, depending on how you spread out the payments over the set term, but you still want to make it manageable and predictable, okay? So just make sure you have that at that very low interest rate. Try to make it as best as you can. And then after that, you can come to me and we can get you funding and things like that. And then you can just pay everything off after that. You can put everything on the business side after that. What's $10,000 when I get you $75, $80, or even $120,000 or $250,000 if we're able to get you a shelf corporation, and even $500,000, then that $10,000 is literally nothing. You see what I'm saying? So this is just the easy way on the first place that you can use for First Tech Credit Union to actually get that personal loan to really help you, okay? Now, I just always want to give at least 2 options or more. So the second option that you can definitely go to get a manageable personal loan is NASA Federal Credit Union. Now, with NASA Federal Credit Union, the loan amounts range from $1,000 all the way up to $30,000. Not as much as First Tech, but it's still really, really helpful. Now, the terms can go up to 60 months at a 9.49% as in the making of this video, but if you want longer terms like 84 months or something like that, the rate slightly goes up to 10.49%. Both of these lenders report positively, to your credit bureaus and things like that. And if you give them the ability to move the debt off the revolving side, this is gonna instantly improve your utilization. Now, the only thing is, I know that First Tech Credit Union does the same exact thing if you want to change up the monthly terms. The same thing with NASA, it goes from 10.49%. So also be on the lookout for that. I tried to ask the rep as far as, changing the actual monthly terms for First Tech Credit Union, but she really didn't give me too much awesome information to really give you guys. So just be on the lookout for that. Expect the unexpected. But again, NASA's the same exact way, non-geo restricted. You can definitely, on the personal side, get a personal loan. Do the same thing I told you for First Tech. Get those internal data points going. Put a couple of dollars in there. Let it circulate for a little bit. Really try to build up that information and that, that trust. Do not ask for just $30,000 outright because of your utilization issue. Only go for what you actually have. Now, if you have $40,000 in credit card debt, then I would suggest that you try to possibly use both of these credit unions. But on top of that, here's a little sequence that I can do. Don't go to First Tech first, get that personal loan, then go to NASA months later and get that, because it's going to look weird. So what I want you to do is try to apply for both places, maybe at the same time, within the same day or something like that. That's what I would recommend. Try to have the both reps within like an hour or something like that to really try to apply for that loan so it doesn't hit your credit report, so they can't see exactly both loans on the credit side at the same time. So if you have 40, try to get 20 from First Tech and then 20 from NASA or something like that. Try to do something along the lines of that, so you're really just trying to get the funding that you're looking for to hide your utilization, but you're not waiting so long, because you don't want one to hit your credit report and then you ask NASA and it's like, yo, you already got a personal, why you need our denied. You don't want that. So make sure you try to do it within the same day, maybe the same week, something of that nature, so it doesn't report as fast to your credit report. So either credit union sees it. You get what I'm saying. Just do that, all right? And I promise you that's gonna really help you moving forward. And this is gonna be a great alternative for you to really help you with that utilization. Now, for all my people that have high utilization and that isn't your only issue, if you have any late payments, collections, charge-offs that are really dragging you down, then this strategy alone is not, it's not gonna be enough. It's not, I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna be honest with you. But what I can do to actually help you is that's where the How to Credit Start program comes in, where we are going to help you clean your credit profile, remove the negatives off your credit report, and build a credit report that's going to be ready for real funding. So you can get that $110,000 approval. Even if you're starting with a low credit score or no approvals, we're going to get you there to make sure that you can get the approvals that you're looking for. So whether you need to literally wipe your utilization or fix negatives that are actively holding you back, we have the right strategy for you. So what I want you to do now is click the link below to sign up for a free consultation, so we'll map out your entire step-by-step plan and help you unlock the funding that you actually deserve. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps you guys, especially, just using this, because I help this with a lot of my clients and things of that nature, as you can see, and I know it can work for you. But I hope this works. Let me know in the comment section if it does. Until next time, ladies and gents.